Well, in 1961, King Hassan of Morocco met with African leaders to discuss ways of fighting colonialism and promoting unity in Africa. 2 years later, the Organization of African Unity was formed. But in 1984, the founding member withdrew in protest. The country was upset that the organization had recognized the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. The OAU became the African Union in 2002, but Morocco remained outside. It only joined in 2017. So to talk more about Morocco's role in the body and on the continent, I'm now joined by Ambassador Youssef Amrani. Ambassador, thanks a lot for joining us at this.
I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me. It's 6 months that I'm in South Africa, and I'm delighted to live in this country.
I'm so excited to hear from you, and I think that this is such a awaited and a long due conversation to have, an honest conversation about Morocco as well as its stance on the Sahrawi people. So let's talk a little bit about 2017, when Morocco decided to join the African Union. I mean, it was praised on many elements, but critics would say that the reason why you were joining the AU in the first place was strategic, especially when it comes to pushing that autonomous plan. Was it so?
No, Morocco, first of all, thank you for the introduction. I think it's important. You mentioned that Morocco was the founding fathers of the African Union in '61. Of course, we left the OAU because we believed that the charter was violated, and they prejudged at that time of the result of the referendum. But this is not most important. We came back because Morocco never left Africa, because Africa is in our DNA, by history, not only by geography, history, the links, the spiritual links we have with Africa. So we never left Africa. We had the best relations with African countries. But now we are back. We are back because we thought that the time has come for us as Africans to build a common future. And as President Ramaphosa said, we need today to build up an audacious and prosperous Africa, because today history is knocking at our doors. We have no way to escape. We have to work for the stability of Africa, but also to create jobs, to promote growth. And this is one of the major objectives of our presence in the African Union. Now, about the Sahara issue, this issue is today dealt with exclusively within the Security Council, and there is a momentum, and we can talk about this later on if you want to see where we are now in this political settlement.
And you know why I'm asking this, Ambassador, is because I think that a lot of times we can speak about the issue and the initiative of silencing the guns. I mean, you'd appreciate the fact that South Africa is now chairing the African Union, right? And one of the objectives, as articulated by President Ramaphosa, is the issue around silencing the guns. So peace and security on the continent is very important. And in the propagation of peace and security, I have to ask you about the SADR. And the reason why I have to ask you about the SADR is simply because there was a move and a lobby to actually expel the SADR from the African Union. In fact, from what I understand, we've got about 28 member states that were actually pushing to get the SADR expelled from the African Union, which is why I'm asking, the reason why Morocco joined in 2017, was it to actually propagate its initiative of getting rid of the
SADR? For a very simple reason, because the Sahara issue today is dealt with within the Security Council. Political solution. It's not the issue which is in the agenda of the African Union. As you know, the last summit of the AU in Nouakchott has decided that this issue should be dealt with within the Security Council. Now, when you're talking about silencing the gun, it's another issue. We have a lot of conflicts in Africa that we should tackle. I'm talking about Libya, I'm talking about Sudan. These issues are today in the agenda of the African Union. So we can work together, and this is the vision of Morocco. We were a member of the Peace and Security Committee of the African Union for the last 2 years. We did a wonderful work. For us, peace is important, security is important, stability is important, but today the most important for us is how to create growth in
But then do you think then it was a mistake for Morocco to leave in the first place? And the reason why I'm asking is because 33 years afterwards, you come back onto it. And the truth of the matter is, Ambassador, Morocco had a significant amount to contribute, right? But by withdrawing from the AU in itself...
Well, at that time, we made our own evaluation. At that time, it was another context. We felt that the charter was violated. We accepted and they prejudge of the process at that time in African Union. After that, we have made our return to work with our countries in Africa to build up a prosperous Africa.
But you do appreciate the fact that maybe you should not have left, because right now, as the world looks at you, I'm talking about the United Nations, I'm talking about the OAU at the time, when Morocco made that exit, it was seen as making it exit solely because of the SADR being able to be initiated within the African Union in itself. So in other words, they saw Morocco saying, you know what, we're protesting against this SADR, we don't want to be a part of it, we're choosing to withdraw. 33 years later, you come on board and you say, you know what, we actually want to be part of this African continent. Is that fair?
No. We are the founding fathers of the African Union.
100%.
So at that time, when we withdrew, it was for very important reasons, which we felt that the charter was violated. And the Republic of Sahrawi, well, what you say, has no attribute of state. But no, it's another context. And as I told you, we never left Africa because we were very successful in building up schemes, regional integration schemes in Africa. We had a very important, successful operations in business and so on. So today, I think we made our evaluation. We thought that time has come that Morocco can bring its modest contribution with African brothers.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to having Morocco on the AU and exactly seeing the unfolding of that contribution to the continent. One may say that better late than never to come to the party and be able to actually have that initiative there. But Ambassador, we have to leave it there for today. We've got Ambassador giving us of Morocco, giving us just the initiative around the AU now being part, or Morocco being part of the African Union, the role that it's going to be playing. You'd appreciate the fact that South Africa is joining and taking up that position as chair. So what role does Morocco have to play in being able to be, number one, take it from where it was, the founding fathers of the Organization of African Unity?